Jam TV.
Ciao, siete sempre su Jam TV, io sono Alex Pierro. Per le incursioni di Alex oggi siamo al Teatro degli Arcimboldi di Milano e l'occasione è il concerto di Bryan Ferry. Noi però abbiamo incontrato Judith Owen che ha aperto il concerto di Bryan. Judith era già stata ospite nei nostri studi in occasione dell'uscita del suo album Somebody's Child. Ascoltate cosa ci ha raccontato.
I knew I'd blown it from the start. Why'd I go and write the things I had to say and second guess myself when it was too late, and now There are many people that I love right now. I think there is a young artist out now called Jacob Collier, who I think the world knows is the most astounding jazz, crossover, funk, anything artist. He's just a revelation as a musician. I love Laura Mvula. I love a lot of jazz. I love a lot of black music. That's one of the reasons why I live in New Orleans as well as London, because I see so much music that inspires me. But right now there are a lot of young people. Trombone Shorty is a great example. There's a lot of very exciting music out there by young people. How did I meet Bryan Ferry and end up opening for him? Well, it was actually down to my manager, Steve Lee, who was friends with his manager at the time, who happened to be a fan of my music already and knew of me and knew of my music. And so they kind of put two and two together and got the music to Bryan, because Bryan decides who opens for him, and it's the music that he loves. And that was really it. So he invited me to open for him for the British tour, I think it was in 2015, and then asked me to join him in the American tour this year, and to do some European dates, which I'm about to start now with tonight, which I'm very excited about. And then I continue in America again in August, in Northern America, another month of dates. So it's been an incredible experience opening for him, because it feels like family, and I love his band, I love Bryan, and we're all very, very close. So seeing them out all today here in Milan, it feels really, really good. It feels like you're coming home. Does he like my version of More Than This? Yes, he does. I heard him, obviously heard him when I was on tour in Britain. I heard him singing the song every single night, and at the time I was very homesick, and I was missing my husband and my dog and just, you know, home. And so that song, even though it's about love, romance, about romantic love, to me it spoke of how much we need the people we love in our lives, because without them close to us, great things that happen, like, you know, the joy I was feeling at working with Bryan, you know, it doesn't feel as much, doesn't feel as great. I think you can find, is it difficult to find inspiration in this world of computers and this digital world that we live in? I have a song on Somebody's Child. The answer to that is no, because every situation throws up problems, and I sing and write about, I see beauty everywhere, but I also see struggle, and the struggle that we all have, and the problems that we all wrestle with. And so a song like Send Me a Line on this record, on this album, is very, very much about my personal struggle in this digital age with computers and smartphones. I mean, I cannot stop. I cannot get off the computer. I cannot shut off my phone. I cannot stop reading and tweeting and on Facebook, and it's like it consumes my life. And the thing that I really makes me very frustrated and angry at myself is that if I send a text, you know, if I send an email to somebody or a text to somebody, if I don't get a reply like that, I just go crazy. I just think the world hates me and that I've done something wrong. I just go into a downward spiral of self-loathing. And so that was what that song was about, because we have created this incredible world and this tool where we can find out everything like that. We can find people like that. We don't have to wait 1 second to get to somebody. And yet it has distorted our lives. And often you're so busy doing that that you're not seeing this, you know, the world that you're living in. So I think the whole of the album is about the things that we miss in life because we're so used to our 21st century problems and the speed of our lives and how self-important and busy we all feel we are. And we miss the really special, important things, simple things. And that can go from with somebody's child to the person who's living on the street, a kid living on the street, to what's happening on the planet, to taking the person you love for granted, to not realizing how exceptional it is to find someone in your life, to being mentally well and having mental health in a time where there's more and more anxiety all the time in this present world. And so I think that this album is very much from the perspective, my perspective, obviously I can only talk about myself, but I think it's a shared experience in, you know, of the good and the bad that has come out of this incredibly fast life that we've created. I think that my songs are all vignettes of life, and because I'm from an operatic background, my father was an opera singer, that's why I'm so happy to be playing here tonight. Really, it's thrilling. I think it's a natural progression for me to be moving into theatre, musical theatre, because I see everything I do as being little operas, tiny operas, and which is, you know, stories of life. And so it seems to me that will be the next stage. So, you know, I can't tell you anything as yet, but I am working on it. I am working. When I have a minute off from touring, I absolutely am working on it. Yeah. Also, what's in my future is recording the next album. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to record it in New Orleans. I mean, I live there. That's really the place that I live. And because mostly in a world of guitars in New Orleans, piano is king. So, you know, to me, it's like a real home. Musically, it's my home. The other thing I'm excited about doing this year, and what's right ahead of me, I think in September, is that I will be recording the next album in New Orleans. I mean, it's my home. You know, in the world of guitar in New Orleans, piano is king. So I find it a very inspiring place to be. I've just come off doing Jazz Fest there, the world famous Jazz Fest, which was remarkable, as well as filming a TV show. They're filled with my favorite artists. And I really find it to be an inspirational place because, you know, in every venue you go to, some as small as this room that I'm sitting in my dressing room, you see greatness. You see greatness on the street with buskers. You see greatness in tiny rooms. You know, Grammy Award winners like John Cleary, also a Brit who fell in love with New Orleans. The most remarkable artists, you know, that are brought there from all over the world. Incredible cellist Helen Gillet from Belgium. Truly unique human beings live and thrive as musicians in New Orleans. So I think I think that there'll be a lot of inspiration in the next album from New Orleans. I expect to be probably doing an awful lot of work from there, and hopefully, you know, doing some live performances that people can see from there to really soak up this atmosphere. But it's something for sure that I'm going to probably be ending up doing the majority of the work on this next thing down there. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be like, you know, you always want to move forward and go into a different place and to push forward and not do the same thing you've done before on your last album. And I think that to me is again, as well as the musical theatre, that is a natural progression to really soak up the atmosphere of that amazing city. Crossing the street 'cause she's acting so wild. She used to